With 21 selections coming off the board before the LA Chargers get their shot, the draft could get wild. Quarterbacks are a total wild card this year, with no clear consensus on how many will go in the top 20 or where they'll land. Add to that some of the Chargers' rumored targets like Michigan tight end Colston Loveland are climbing draft boards and might be gone by the time LA picks. But don't sweat it. Today, I'm putting 4 under-the-radar prospects in front of you the Chargers could target if the draft takes an unexpected turn. These are players who might not be headlining every mock draft, but could be perfect fits for Jim Harbaugh's squad. So let's get into it. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. First up, we've got North Dakota State offensive lineman Zabel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another offensive lineman in the first round? The Chargers have already invested heavily in their line with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, and they made waves in free agency by signing Mekhi Becton and Andre James. That created a 4-way battle for left guard and center with Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Trey Pipkins, and Andre James all in the mix. Adding another interior lineman might seem like overkill, especially without a trade involving Zion Johnson or Trey Pipkins, which feels like a long shot right now. But hear me out. Zabel is widely regarded as one of the top centers in this draft class, with some scouts calling him the best pure center available. His technical prowess, strong anchor, and ability to handle bull rushes make him a plug-and-play starter. What's more, Andre James, Zion Johnson, and Trey Pipkins are all set to hit free agency after the 2025 season. Assuming the Chargers don't pick up Zion Johnson's 5th-year option, drafting Zabel would be a forward-thinking move, locking in a long-term solution at center to protect Justin Herbert for years to come. If the Chargers' top targets at other positions are gone, don't be shocked if GM Joe Hortiz pulls the trigger on Zabel to keep building that trench dominance. Next, let's talk about Ohio State running back TreVeyon Henderson. This guy's been a fan favorite in mock drafts, often projected as a second-round pick for the Chargers, but there's growing buzz that his draft range could start as early as the top 10. Part of that hype comes from his connection to Chicago Bears running backs coach Eric Bieniemy, who reportedly loves TreVeyon Henderson's skill set. But let's play out a scenario. What if Chicago opts for Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, who's been climbing boards with his explosive production? Or maybe a team like Denver, picking at 20, prefers North Carolina's Omarion Hampton for his bruising style. If that happens, TreVeyon Henderson could slide right into the Chargers' lap at 22. Now, LA already added Najee Harris in free agency, but Najee Harris is more of a power back, and TreVeyon Henderson brings a different flavor with his elite speed and receiving ability out of the backfield. If the Chargers are dead set on giving Justin Herbert another dynamic weapon and aren't thrilled with the wide receivers available, many of whom have skill sets that overlap with Ladd McConkey, TreVeyon Henderson could be a sneaky pick. His 4.38 40-yard dash time and ability to turn short passes into big gains make him a nightmare for linebackers in space. Shifting to the defensive side, let's spotlight Georgia edge rusher Mykel Williams. If the draft board gets chaotic, with multiple running backs and tight ends flying off the board early, someone's bound to fall. And edge rusher is a position where top prospects often come with questions. For Mykel Williams, the knock is his raw speed off the edge. He's not the quickest guy in terms of pure burst, but when you dig into his measurables, he's a physical freak at 6'5", 265 pounds with long arms and a relentless motor. Sound familiar? His profile draws comparisons to Joey Bosa, who was a cornerstone for the Chargers for nearly a decade before moving on. Mykel Williams' strength and ability to set the edge against the run are already NFL ready, and his pass rush upside is tantalizing. The Chargers don't have an urgent need at edge with Khalil Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu returning, but Joe Hortiz, who came from Baltimore, loves to plan ahead. The Ravens were known for drafting high upside players a year before their needs became pressing, and Mykel Williams fits that mold perfectly. At worst, he's a stout run defender who can rotate in as a rookie. At best, he develops into a double-digit sack artist. With Khalil Mack getting older and Tuli Tuipulotu still developing as a full-time starter, grabbing Mykel Williams at 22 could keep LA's edge room among the league's best. Don't sleep on this pick if the draft board falls the right way. Finally, we've got Michigan cornerback Will Johnson, a player with a fascinating draft story. Will Johnson's pre-draft process has been bumpy, with a Lisfranc injury and a tweaked hamstring limiting his workouts until just this week, when he opted not to run the 40-yard dash. That's led to some uncertainty, with the Athletics' Dane Brugler projecting him to fall to 23rd to Green Bay in his latest 7-round mock, though he notes Will Johnson could go as high as 11th. If he slides and Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant, Dane Brugler's pick for the Chargers, is off the board, LA could be the perfect landing spot. Why? Will Johnson has deep ties to the Chargers staff. His head coach, defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach from his standout 2023 season at Michigan when he helped lead the Wolverines to a national championship, are all with the Chargers now. Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter, and Steve Clinkscale. Will Johnson thrives in zone coverage, where his instincts and ball skills shine, and Jesse Minter already knows how to scheme around his weaknesses, like his occasional struggles in man-to-man. At 6'2", 194 pounds, Will Johnson has the size to match up with the NFL's bigger receivers, and his knack for making plays on the ball could give LA's secondary a boost. With Cam Hart and Tarheeb still showing promise as rookies and Dante Jackson signed for 2 years, the Chargers aren't desperate at corner, but adding a high-upside talent like Will Johnson would be a luxury pick that could pay off big. So, which of these prospects would you love to see in powder blue? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.